You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.
Welcome to our show. This is Ana Lennyr, family relationship and antidepressant expert, coming to you with another true secret of life. Just a reminder that the truth is not always easy to hear, and those true secrets I share with you are not necessarily what you want to hear, nevertheless is what you need to hear to avoid heartbreak, anxiety, and depression in your life. So today's true secret of life is: failure is only feedback. So let's say, you have met failure in your life. And today, you're hearing that it was only feedback. What do you truly feel about it? I was angry when I felt that, okay? When I went through that experience, I was super, super angry. What do you mean failure is only feedback? Failure makes you feel like crap. It's horrible. It's amazingly horrible. Nobody should experience it. Nevertheless, this is how we're learning. And this is why this true secret of life is called failure is only feedback. If you have ever had the chance to read or maybe listen to the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, a book which is absolutely amazing, it shows about 30 causes of failure, right? So it lists them, the causes of failure. And we're not going to be able to take all these 30 causes and analyze it today, but I want you to ponder on a couple of them, because they're very, very linked to heartbreak, anxiety, and depression. And as an antidepressant expert, this is what I do. I want to make sure that you never end up in these situations, or if you are in these situations, you know how to get the hell out. And when I say the hell out, it's like get out of hell, because this is exactly what they are. They are hell out there, right? So one of the causes of failure in Think and Grow Rich is lack of well-defined purpose in life. The idea here is there is no hope for success from a person who doesn't have a central purpose or definitive goal at which to aim, right? So this is why we talk all the time about mastering the game of life and about how to strategize your game of life, because you play it by the ear and you just think that love is going to come to me, and then you were calling me because you ended up in a narcissistic relationship or in some kind of 3-year divorce or some kind of abandonment issue, right? Because it was no plan there. You just played by the ear, thinking that, oh, everything is going to be okay. And yeah, hope die lasts. This is how it works. We all want everything to be okay. But to have a plan behind it makes it okay. Okay? It's very simple. It's strategy versus failure. It's very, very simple. So let's say that maybe not everybody has a defined purpose in life, and they fail. Well, here is how to bounce it back and to use this failure as feedback and to use it for your success. So I'm going to give you right now the strategy how to bounce back from it. Everything you have learned in life as a lesson cannot be negative. What does that mean? Let's say that you've been in 2 relationships, in 2 divorces, okay? So your lesson in life could be very easily, oh my God, I'm never going to get married. That's not a lesson. That's on the negative side of the equation. The positive way of how to turn this failure into feedback and into success would be man, I clearly don't know anything about relationship. Maybe I should take a relationship course before I go to the next relationship. Very simple strategy. If there is anything that failure teaches you, cannot be negative. And I can't stress this enough, because many of my clients come with all kind of, oh my God, it's impossible to do this and it's impossible to do that. It's like, no, just what you tried was not working. Now you know what's not working. Are you going to be ready to find out what's working? Right. And for any of you who have never heard what I teach, or what we talk about in these radio shows, we do have a website called truesecretsoflife.com, where you can join our academy and learn a lot more secrets than the one today, because this is the truth. If you fail over and over again, you're going to get disappointed in life. And if you get disappointed in life, you're not going to want to try new things, have new relationships, and open up to the world. You're just going to go deep down inside yourself and isolate yourself, and this is not going to bring you any kind of happiness, right? So instead of failing over and over again, find out how you can turn this with strategies that some of them I just mentioned, some of them I'm going to mention during this show. How can you turn this around, not in your detriment? Because if you come with like, oh my God, I had 2 divorces and I'm not going to get married and I'm never going to, look for another partner, stuff like that, guess what? A love can change your life. And a life without love is a very sad life. Here is where you want to find true love, not true pain and true drama. Right? You want to find true love. And you might not know how to do this. And nobody knows how to do this by themselves. Okay? There are a lot of lucky people who are out there, and the rest of us, good luck. Right? But here is how you can do it with strategy. Another cause of failure from Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is lack of ambition to aim above mediocrity. This is a hard one, because we have been taught that there are 2 worlds out there. The world we live in, and then the world with people happy and rich and all that. And we're all separate from one another. And here is the problem. We're not separated from one another. One of them has strategies and plans, and plan A, B, C, D, and all the letters of the alphabet. And the other one has no ambition to get there, because they have not ever had a strategy in life. That they just went by the ear to fly it out there. They've never been taught that what you want wants you, but you need to go get it. It's not just going to come to you. It's very simple. Whatever you want, you need to go get it. You need to have a plan for it. So repeated failures will get you to this lack of ambition. And then at the end of your lifetime, you're going to be, I was just one person. Right? So here, are you truly indifferent of living the life you deserve and desire? Or you're just afraid because another failure can come up and you don't know how to do it? Which one is it? Because if you're indifferent, you're just living a life on autopilot. Probably not even your life, somebody else's life somewhere. Maybe your parents, maybe somebody that you saw in your life. Right? And then you're wondering why you can't get ahead. You can't find your true purpose. You can't reach your true potential. This is why. Because there is no strategy. There is no plan beyond it. And too many failures comes up to be a lack of ambition. Very simple. There are just too many failures. Right? The third one that it's mentioned out there is negative personality. I have a lot of private meetings with companies who are complaining about a toxic environment, right? So everybody goes to work and said, oh my God, all these toxic people, I need to get out of here. They're all negative. They're all everything. They will first say no, and then they go ahead with whatever idea I can come up with, right? So here is about the negative personality. What we need to understand about this is that nobody who is happy is negative. Clearly, right? So when we're talking about toxic people or negative personality, we're talking about layers upon layers upon layers of pain and failure. Okay? I can say that I was one of them. Very simple. I can say that I was one of them. I was not toxic at work because I knew how to pretend very well and how to joke and how to make everybody, laugh so they won't see that I'm depressed and suicidal and I have all kind of issues. I knew how to do that. I was smart enough to do that. But I was one of them who, because of repeated failures, because I have tried everything to deal with my emotional imbalance, okay, everything that everybody would have said, what would have been first, no, I cannot. Or I can, but, and here will come all the excuses in the world. All the clients that come to me come with the same set of mind. This is impossible, right? Depression is impossible to fix. Who said that? Oh no, it's like, it's a mental illness. Who said it's a mental illness? Well, everybody says it's a mental illness. Well, it's not actually a mental illness. If you're a member of society that can actually go to work, and work and make money, you're not sick of anything, okay? Depression is deep, heavy, and unresolved emotional balance. And I just told you exactly how to fix it. You retrieve it, you resolve it, and you release the deep down pain. And there are strategies for that too. So when you look at somebody with negative personality, you have to understand that they have been touched by pain. A lot of pain, maybe. Once you see that, once you see through their pain, then everything changes. That person is not there to say no because they just want to be against you. It's just because they don't believe in themselves. They don't believe they can succeed. Because failure is embedded in them and they don't know how to turn it into feedback. They don't know how to turn it into success. Not yet. Because this is exactly what we teach on our True Secrets of Life Academy. This is exactly what we teach. All these strategies are learnable. Nobody needs to stay like that. Nobody, everybody runs away from negative people. And, you can have as many friends as you can, but they're all going to run away at some point. So maybe you want to consider to let go of a pain that makes us negative. But if you cannot do that because it's some other member of your family, then at least see it through. See it through. And then it will not touch you and you will not feel offended by them saying no, 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 no all the time. Another cause of failure from Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill would be insufficient education. And here is what Napoleon Hill explains by insufficient education. Experience has proven that the best educated people are often the ones who are known as self-made or self-educated. It takes more than a university degree to make one person of education. Guys, you don't even know how true this is, okay? When I suffered from depression for years and years of my life, at the age of 19, I became suicidal. And after after I realized that there is something wrong with me, I went to university and I studied psychology. I actually ended up studying 2 universities in the same time. And when I came out, I was as suicidal as my clients. And I decided to not pursue a career because I said, what am I going to really do? I'm just going to get a client in who said, oh my God, I wanted to kill myself. I wanted to jump off a bridge. I'm like, which bridge? Oh, the one in town on the other side. I'm like, oh, me too. What time you were there? I was there at 2:00. Oh, good, and I just missed you. I was there at 4. Right? So these kind of things, this is what it was still in my mind. And what I'm trying to tell you is that the fact that you go to university trying to help yourself is just, it doesn't work like that. Unfortunately, it didn't work like that. And I was one of the top students. Another thing that happened when we came all in the university, they asked all the students, who here has suicidal tendency or already, tried to kill themselves? All of us raised our hands. Kids, 19, 20 years old, all of us came there for help. And we came in as chickens, ready to learn, and we came out as cows with a lot of books in our belly, but no skills to help us, right? So how can you really help somebody that comes to you with these problems when you don't know how to help yourself? You cannot. So this is the fact that how we pursue education, specifically education, is amazing to me, because everybody thinks that they go to university and they're going to find jobs and everything is going to be solved out. And the truth is that you should learn from people who did this. You should learn from experienced people. Okay, very simple. You don't need an university degree to learn how to build a website. There are courses out there taught by the ones who build amazing websites. Okay, you don't need a university degrees to get your child out of depression. I teach that. Very simple, in 3.5 hours. On truesecretsoflife.com, if you join our academy. Very simple. I teach you how to do that. You don't need 4 years of university to do that. Right? So here, I want you to look at education as first knowledge and then experience, because this have to be combined. If you only have one and not another, fully garbage. Another thing that I have noticed after working with thousands of people that have all kind of issues in life, man, more educated they are, more depressed they are, more heartbroken they are, more anxiety they have. I'm like, what is this? How is this working out? Right? Because they have learned skills for jobs. They have not learned skills for life. How to deal with life. So this is exactly the problem we have today in our society, with 18 million people every year complaining that they're depressed, right? Because we don't give them life skills. We don't show them how to organize their life properly so they will never be hurt again. We don't show them how to live the life they deserve and desire. Just a reminder for the audience that just got in, you are listening to our show, True Secrets of Life. And today's True Secret of Life is failure is only feedback, with me, Ana Lennyr. And yes, I'm a family relationship and antidepressant expert who help people to get out of heartbreak, anxiety, and depression with these secrets. We were talking about the first 4 causes of failure from Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And here we are going to continue with a 5th one, which is lack of persistence. Aren't we all guilty of that? Lack of persistence. One of my mentors was always talking like, don't quit too soon, don't quit too soon, you're all almost there. I'm like, you're saying this for years. Don't quit too soon. And one day everything changes, like, I told you not to quit too soon. Because this is how it is. One day, everything changes. The moment when it clicks, everything changes. So I tried to overcome my own depression with going to university, then with diets, then with exercise, then with Eckhart Tolle, to quiet your mind on all of this. And every time I tried everything, and I just bounced back, and I kept bouncing back, and I kept bouncing back. And all this failure told me that it's impossible. It's impossible, man. You're just going to feel sad all your life, just going to live with it, just like that, right? You don't have a choice anymore. And I quit on it. I quit on trying, because everything I have tried, it just didn't work. It was just a failure, right? And here is when maybe God or the universe step in. And I tell everybody the story because, I was just a failure. I was nobody, just a failure, right? And at the age of 38, I almost died from a condition connected to depression that my mom had. She died at the age of 55 from it overnight. And at the age of 38, I found out I have it. And I thought I'm going to have another 17 years until I have a condition and I might die. I did not expect this at the age of 38, especially that I had a 9-year-old child at home, and he would have been an orphan as I was a single mom. So here is when the universe punished me, if you will, telling me that you can't fail anymore. Here is, you die or you rise. Choose. If I wouldn't had a child at the time, probably I would have just died. I would just call it quits and failure. And I was just being like my mom, dying overnight, except this time at the age of 38, not 55. Right. But I couldn't do this to my child. I couldn't left him as an orphan in the world. So I did not have any choice. I had zero choice. And it's when I did not decided to restart my journey out of depression. I went all throttle in, all of it. I did not hire one mentor to get me out. I hired 4 because I did not believe that one is enough. So I hired 4. And some of them told me the same thing, and I didn't care. I did it 4 times. Whatever they told me, I just kept on doing it. And I did not believe that their system works. And I didn't care because I didn't have any other option. I would not going to leave my kid an orphan. There is no way in hell. Well, that persistence for just 7 months after 27 years of suffering brought me here today to teach you how to never end up in heartbreak, anxiety, or depression. Or if you are into it, how to fix it. Because it is possible. But yes, sometimes you have to fail 1,000,000 times to know what it's not working. Because you're listening to the show today, failure is only feedback. And failure should not define you, or should just not be a step in your success. It should be just left on to a lesson that you learned and keep on moving. And sometimes you might have to do it full throttle. You might have to do it like I did, but it's totally fine, right? So this is exactly what we do here on our radio show, True Secrets of Life. And if you would like to join our academy on truesecretsoflife.com, you can do that. It is only $27 for 1 year access. And you can have a lot more than True Secrets of Life out there. You can see a lot of strategies that we use for people who suffer from anxiety, depression, or heartbreak. You are listening to us Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. or My Genre Radio Network. And we are very pleased that we have a lot of listeners already who are interested in not suffering anymore, in mastering their own game of life and living the life they truly deserve and desire. Because this is how it goes. Failure can be your biggest stepping stone, can be your biggest lesson in the world, or can take you down. And maybe you need the universe sometimes to step in. Maybe you need another challenge to get it. Maybe you need a lot of pain, right? But this is what we're trying to avoid, to make sure that pain is not part of us anymore. So we're going to come back to you just after the break. You're listening to True Secrets of Life. If you have not the chance to listen to our first part of a show, we talked a lot about the 5 causes of failure mentioned in Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So please make sure you're listening to the first part of a show, and you're going to find it on truesecretsoflife.com, where you can listen to our recent show. But let's continue. Let's continue with explaining why failure is only feedback. It is only feedback. And this should not define you, no matter where are you in your life and no matter how much you have tried. So the first thing that I teach everybody in my courses and in our academy, where you can sign it on truesecretsoflife.com, is past is not your ruler. The past is not your ruler. It is just insight of what works and what doesn't, and take what works and leave what doesn't. Don't make it. Don't repeat it. Because a lot of times what we do is repeat these generational patterns. We don't want to do that, but we do that subconsciously. So I am the 3rd generation of people depressed in my family. I had to make a stop. I had to say stop at some point. Okay? And when I said stop, I had to relearn a lot of things. But guess what? My family never knew. My mom never knew. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been there. Okay? I had to learn a lot about relationship because we were 3 generations of single moms. I had to learn about men because it was the first one that I had a man in my family. We all had girls in the family. Even now, I'm going to the grocery store and I have to ask other men sometimes, like, is this for men or women? Because I have no clue about the clothes for men. Because we never had men around, right? So, and, the men in my life, they pay for their own clothes. I don't have to buy them clothes, but nevertheless, I have to buy clothes for my kid, right? So the past cannot be your ruler. So if you have failed in the past, take what worked and leave what didn't. But take it as a feedback. In the first part of the show, we talked a lot about what to do if you end up in relationship and 2 divorces and things don't work for you. Don't run away and say, oh my God, I'm never going to find somebody. They're all like this, they're all like that. Or, I'm never going to get married. If you go on the negative side of the equation, you've never learned anything from your past. Anything. Very simple. Instead, say, I don't understand men and women. Man, I should better take a relationship course before I start a new relationship because clearly I don't know anything about it. After 2 divorces or after 2 broken hearts, you don't know anything about it. And learn how to get into the next relationship with an open heart by understanding there are 4 types of men, 4 types of women in the world, who you're going to attract, who do you want, who you are, how the other ones think, how the other ones feel, which is different than you. There is a lot to learn there, right? So don't believe that just because you failed, you're turning into isolation and the negative side of it. This doesn't work. Make it work. Find another way. One of my mentors says all the time, is like when you're shooting arrows in the universe of what you want, you don't just shoot one and you expect it to stick. You shoot 1,000 in all directions. and see which one sticked. But when you fail numbers of times, you are afraid to start again. And I've been there, trying, to get out of depression, trying to be happy and not succeeding until I have, almost quit. But I couldn't quit on my son, who was doing the same, who was just repeating my depression, my sadness. I couldn't do that. So then I take only the lessons from my failures. I knew exactly what it doesn't work, and I learned what it does. So what it did not work for me is going to university and study psychology. That didn't work. Diet and exercise, that didn't work. Pills, that didn't work. Thinking positive and quiet your mind with Eckhart Tolle, that didn't work. Sorry, it was too much pain. So today, this is exactly what we're teaching. The strategies that are truly working. So, nobody should suffer. Nobody should be in pain. And yes, sometimes you just want to be in pain. Sometimes you just want to suffer. But sometimes you're sick and tired of it. And when you're ready, you might be able to find these true secrets of life very useful. I want you to think of the fact that today you have electricity in your house, everywhere you go, because of a guy called Thomas Edison, who have failed 3,000 times to invent a light bulb. He have failed 3,000 times. Would you have tried 3,000 times? Because I wouldn't have tried 3,000 times. If it was up to me, man, we would never have electricity today, okay? Sorry, I'm not so persistent. 3,000 times. He failed. And he said, no, there are just 3,000 steps to build a light bulb. Just 3,000 steps. Not 3,000 times a failure. Think about Steve Jobs. You have a cell phone today. You have an Apple tablet that changed the world, that made everything different, everything accessible by internet. Thanks to him. He failed. Nobody paid attention to him. Everybody belittled him. Everybody fired him. Right? He kept going. Think about me, a suicidal girl from Romania that lost all her family to depression in a way or another. And today I teach people how to get out of it. So this is why failure is only feedback. It teaches you what it does not work, and it is not defining you. It is not defining you. Let's say that you have a business idea, right? And you want to start, and you're ready, and you have that passion, and you're doing it. And guess what? Guess what? It doesn't work the way you think it does. It doesn't work that way, right? Here is how you're learning from your failures. First of all, learn from somebody else's failures. Find somebody that did exactly what you did, right? Started from zero with whatever it is. Maybe it's a soap. Very simple, right? How did they get out there from a soap and a lotion to become the biggest brand in the world? Go and look into the history of that company. Go and look into the people they used, managers, mentors, who helped them out, and just repeat the process. Because if you're expecting somebody to knock on your door and say, I know you're making soap and I want 1,000 of them every day, that's not going to happen, unfortunately. And you keep failing out there in the marketing, putting ads like on Facebook and costing you millions of dollars instead of making millions of dollars, that's not going to help you either. At some point, you're going to quit and you're going to say, oh, this doesn't work. I spent so much money, I had so much passion, and guess what? When you have a new idea, I said, no, forget about it, man. I'm not going to even touch this new idea, right? So here is how to learn. You learn from the best and the ones who did it. if you are going into a new field and you don't know where to start. And this is another reason why, therapy doesn't work, for example, because, people come to me and said, oh my God, I went through so many therapists and they couldn't help me with my depression. And how can you help me? Well, it's very, very simple. Did you ask the therapist how did they get out of depression? What do you mean? Well, maybe if you ask a therapist how did they get out of depression, they can tell you, I've never been depressed. Okay, if you've never been depressed, how the heck do you understand my depression? How do you know how to get me out if you've never had it? Okay, or maybe they said, I was depressed and this is the formula. Okay, that's fine, that's totally fine. Or maybe they said, I'm still depressed and I haven't found the formula, so why am I wasting time listening to you? Right? Here is, I want you to go and question, including if you're going to a therapist for your child. How did you help your child to overcome the issues my child has? Maybe the therapist said, I don't have any kids. Well, how do you understand the problems I have with my kid if you don't have any kids? Right? So here I want you to question and look not only at your own failures as feedback, but also at the other people's failures as feedback. And if I haven't been there, they don't know how to do it, forget about it, man. Find somebody that knows how to do it. Most people come to me with their kids telling me, I know that you got your child out of depression. You got so many kids out of depression. How did you do it? Can you help us? Yes. That's what we do. So, for anybody that's already tuning in and hasn't been listening to us for a while, you're listening to True Secrets of Life radio show. And today we are talking about failure is only feedback. And if you haven't had the chance to listen to the rest of the show, you can find on truesecretsoflife.com the entire show, the most recent show. And you can also join the Academy, which we have it set up for parents and adults who have issues with themselves or with their kids that have heartbreak, anxiety, and depression. Another practical step for you to turn failure into feedback will be determination. Do you really want what you want? Do you really know what you want? Are you ready to take that step? It was super, super funny because I never wanted anything in life. I thought that wanting is bad. It's super, super bad. Because if you want something, you're never going to get it anyway. And then you're just going to fail again and feel like crap. And, it's better not to want anything. Whatever comes in, just be grateful, be happy, whatever, never try for anything. And I remember my son went to school and they asked him what does he want for Christmas. To write a list of what does he want for Christmas. And my son never wrote anything. He was probably about 7-year-old, slipping in depression, and he never wrote anything on the list. And he got a 0 for that assignment. And the teacher called me and said, well, he didn't write anything, so I couldn't give him anything, right? And I was so proud of myself that I taught my son not to want anything in life. I was also so stupid. How can anybody thrive? How can anybody succeed in life when they want nothing? There is no ambition, there is no determination, there is no passion, there is no drive out there. But for somebody that failed numbers and numbers of times, I really thought that I won the lottery by not wanting anything. Because I was afraid of failure. And I was afraid to admit that if I fail, Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not good enough. So here is what I want you to do if you know somebody in this situation. To help them calibrate their compass of life. Your life has to have a direction. And maybe the direction is not to be, an antidepressant expert and to help everybody that's in depression that comes to you and to be on public stages. And maybe that's not your purpose in life. That was clearly not mine, right? The universe compassed me in this direction, that's for certain, right? But think about what you truly want and not be afraid of failure. Look at your potential. Look deep down to see what kind of potential is hidden inside. Maybe it's hidden by pain. Maybe it's hidden by failure. Maybe it's hidden by different, maybe it's hidden by an illness. Maybe it's hidden by, people, somebody dying around you, somebody putting you down, some kind of, person that is narcissistic around you or verbally abusive. Maybe it's hidden somehow. But it doesn't matter because it's there. It's hidden. And when it's hidden, you can retrieve it. Yeah, there is some work to be done. Okay, it's not just going to pop out. But it's there. So I want you to look to see how can you recalibrate your compass of life and what you truly want. And instead of saying, oh, that's not possible, I'm just going to fail, ask the question, how it could be possible. How it could be possible. Everybody that comes to me that is thinking about divorcing their spouse, I tell them, wait, just wait. What do you mean? You don't understand him or her. They're like this, they're like that. Oh my God. And I just wait. Wait a second. I want you to take a course for 3.5 hours. You can take this course or you can stay 2 years in a divorce court. Which one would you prefer? I'll take the course. But it's not going to help anything because you don't understand my spouse. I'm like, okay, I don't understand your spouse. How do you understand exactly your spouse that you're divorcing? If you would have understand your spouse, you wouldn't be divorcing. You would get along great. But anyway, take this relationship course, right? And then they take this relationship course and everything changes for them. Just in 3.5 hours. Oh my God. You're telling me I can fix this marriage? Yes. You're telling me that even if I want to divorce, I can do it in a nice, amicable way, only with $700 instead of 13,000? Yes. Now, what do you truly want? Do you still want to divorce? Okay, this is how you do it. To remain friends with your spouse and not to put the kids in the middle of it and make everybody angry and blaming one or another or taking sides or thinking the poor kids that they should never be in a relationship and get married because look what happened to my parents, right? So do you want to go that route or you want to fix the marriage? Because that takes about 30 days. Which side do you want to go? Recalibrate your compass of life and ask yourself, how can I do it? What is it I'm probably missing? Don't go with a wave. Surf on the wave. Decide on which wave you're going to go and which one you're not going to go. So it won't get you in a dead end. Yes, you might have to learn how to surf with life. That's what we're teaching. That's what we're sharing with you today. True Secrets of Life with me, Ana Lennyr, family relationship and antidepressant expert. That's what we're doing every day to help you out. And then another practical way to do this, to turn your failure into feedback, is to detach yourself from the situation. So when you are in a challenge, you usually see choice 1 or 2. That's it. Black or white. And when people come to me and they said it's only this or this choice I have, I'm like, no, you have a lot of other choices. But because you haven't detached yourself from the situation, because you haven't seen the situation the way I see it, from above, from outside, you are still holding on to it. And you don't see that you have choice number 3, 4, 5, a lot of numbers, right? So here is, when you fail, you usually go on the negative side. I'm never going to do that. No. What is the lesson I have learned into this? And then how do I turn it around to use the lesson to go forward to the next step, to find the other direction? Because clearly this is a dead-end direction. I just failed, right? But what could be the right direction, right? So I had a client recently who came to me with something that it's quite challenging to fix, okay, a brain condition. When people have a brain condition, a lot of times we don't take them, but we took them from the depression point of view, not to fix her brain condition, because this is not what we do. We're not neurologists, right? But nevertheless, we have to address the illness that's behind the condition, right? So I asked her to write down everything that she doesn't believe that's going to solve her brain condition. The same thing I'm going to ask you to do. Everything that you don't believe that's going to solve your challenge or problem. And do it all. Everything you don't believe it works. Doesn't matter. Do it all. Take everything on the list. And if another person comes with a cookadoo idea, like energy healing or whatever, I'll try that too. Another one comes with another, is like, I'm going to look into your past life, I'll try that too. Do it all. You never know what works, how crazy it can be. If somebody would have told me that you can fix your depression with a relationship course, I said, say what? What's that going to help me? Right? How is that possible to heal heartbreak with a relationship course? Very simple. You understand yourself. You understand the partner. You understand the future partner. You understand if you want a future partner or not. You understand who you are. You understand how to relate to everybody in your life. Not to hide from everybody. So here is detaching yourself from your failures and from your past that should not define you, should be only taken as feedback. I got the memo, man, this doesn't work. Well, how can we make it work? What other direction we have to go? And don't forget, it takes one person, one opportunity, and one idea to change your life forever. One person, one opportunity, and one idea. So shoot 1,000,000 arrows and see which one it sticks. And the one it sticks, go for it. Go for it, right? Today I do what I do because of a couple of people in my life. First one, my mom. I saw her that she never lived 1 week happy in her life. That's all I wanted. To live 1 week happy in my life when I started this journey. It's been over 7 years. Right? So that's one person that changed everything. The second person that changed everything is my son. But I almost left him an orphan at the age of 38. I said, there's no way. No way I'm going to do this to a kid that's innocent and has no guilt in all this, pain that I suffer from. There is no way. And the third person that I owe this to is a man who I met after I overcame depression. And he noticed my transformation. He never met me before, but he was told about how I was before and how I am right now and how happy I am right now when I was just all depressed. And So he came to me and said, listen, I suffer from PTSD and depression, and I have some marriage problems. It's like, can you help me? How did you do it? And I told him how to do it. And he didn't listen. Why would somebody that's been through the same challenges that I have been, that can do the same things that I did to get myself out, would just not listen even after they asked for the advice? And then I realized I was just a woman out there who I haven't really proved to him that knows what she's talking about. Today, I am Ana Lennyr. I'm a family relationship and antidepressant expert. I became who I am today because of him. Very simple. So look at all the people in your life who brought you up to your true potential. And don't forget, failure is only feedback. Your road to success is not defined by your failures, nor by your past and who you were. And if you would like to listen to more of these true secrets of life, all you have to go is on our website, truesecretsoflife.com, to join our academy. It's only a fee of $27 for 1 year access. And don't forget that one idea can change everything in your life. One idea, maybe something that I'm giving you, can change absolutely everything in your life. And also don't forget that truth might be painful. Nevertheless, it needs to be heard over and over again. And guess what? You deserve to live the life you desire. And you know that deep down you have a tremendous potential and you deserve this. To listen to more of our shows, we will be on My Genre Radio Network every day from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. And I urge you to listen to all the shows because each one will have unraveled another true secret of life that could help you easily prevent or overcome heartbreak, anxiety, and depression. And yes, we do this for adults as well as for teenagers who have all kinds of difficulties. And they're confused about life. And we can guide them in the right way, maybe not in the way that we were guided ourselves. If you have missed our show, please make sure you go to truesecretsoflife.com and you catch our entire show today with me, Ana Lennyr, family relationship and antidepressant expert. And I understand that nobody knows what that means. But we get people out of a hell of troubles and challenges in life. This is what we do, and we're good at it.
You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.